Welcome to the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Nathu. Today we're diving into Brian Tracy's Maximum Achievement, Strategies and Skills that will unlock your hidden powers to succeed. Now, this book is quite a bit to get through. Packed with strategies, Tracy claims, have helped millions. So to help us distill the essence of maximum achievement, we're using the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Nathu, which it really boils things down to the core ideas.
You know, what's really interesting is that Tracy's approach, it's not just about that surface level motivation. He really dives into the mechanics of success,
Oh.
comparing it to a combination lock.
Yeah.
Find the right sequence of thoughts and actions, and you can unlock any door.
I love that. It really implies there's a system to it. There's a method to this whole success thing. So where does Tracy suggest we start in cracking this code?
Well, chapter 1, make your life a masterpiece, lays the foundation. Tracy argues, we live in an unprecedented age of achievement where resources and opportunities are more abundant than ever. But the key differentiator is mindset. He introduces this idea of zero-based thinking, imagining you have a blank slate. What would you change? What does your ideal life truly look like? It's about getting crystal clear on your vision before you even start strategizing.
Okay, so it's not just positive thinking. It's about intentional design. But how do we go from blank slate to masterpiece? Does Tracy give us any practical steps?
He does. He breaks down success into 7 key ingredients, starting with peace of mind. Now, this might sound like, typical self-help fluff, but Tracy digs deeper. He argues that most people seek external success to gain inner peace, but he flips the script, saying inner peace is the foundation upon which all other achievements can be enjoyed. He even provides, specific techniques like meditation and stress management to cultivate this inner calm.
That's a really interesting inversion. Instead of achievement leading to peace, it's peace that enables true achievement. I like that shift in perspective. So what are some of the other ingredients in Tracy's recipe for success?
He emphasizes the importance of health and energy, arguing that without vitality, pursuing ambitious goals becomes incredibly difficult. But he doesn't just give generic advice about diet and exercise. He dives into the importance of sleep, stress management, even the power of positive self-talk to boost energy levels.
So it's a holistic approach to well-being, not just focusing on the physical, but also the mental and emotional. But achieving anything worthwhile takes more than just personal energy, right?
Absolutely. And that's where Tracy's emphasis on loving relationships comes in. He argues that true success is meaningless without meaningful connections. He encourages investing in quality time with loved ones, practicing open communication, and expressing appreciation. And he provides specific strategies for resolving conflicts constructively. Because, let's face it, even the most loving relationships have their bumps in the road.
Yeah. It does like he's emphasizing that. Success isn't just about climbing the ladder. It's about who you have with you on that climb. But let's be realistic. Financial freedom plays a role in most people's definition of success. Does Tracy address that?
He does, but not in the way you might expect. He sees financial freedom, not as the ultimate goal, but as a means to reduce stress and open up possibilities. He encourages smart financial planning, investing in your skills, and creating multiple streams of income. But he cautions against making money, the sole focus, emphasizing that it's just one piece of the puzzle.
So it's about having enough financial security to pursue your passions and live a fulfilling life, not about chasing wealth for its own sake. Now that brings us to the worthy goals Tracy mentions. What exactly does he mean by that?
It's about aligning your ambitions with something bigger than yourself. He encourages identifying causes you care about, contributing to your community, or pursuing work that makes a positive impact. The idea is that when your goals are aligned with your values, you're more motivated, more resilient, and ultimately more fulfilled.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where passion, purpose, and impact intersect. I like that. But with all these ingredients for success, it can feel overwhelming. How do we even know where to start?
That's where self-knowledge comes in. Tracy devotes a lot of space in Maximum Achievement to understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and passions. He argues that playing to your strengths and working on areas that need improvement is crucial. For choosing the right path, it's not about being perfect. It's about knowing yourself well enough to leverage your unique abilities.
So it's about being self-aware, identifying those areas where you naturally excel, and those where you might need to seek support or develop new skills. This all sounds like a great foundation for personal growth. But does Tracy provide a framework for actually putting these principles into action?
He does, and this is where things get really interesting. He introduces what he calls the Master Program, which is all about taking control of your mind and consciously shaping your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors.
So it sounds like he's going beyond simple positive thinking and into the realm of deliberate mental conditioning. Tell me more about this master program. What are some of the key takeaways from the 1-Hour Guide by Anil Nathu?
Well, he starts by comparing the mind to a computer.
Sure.
Imagine your mind is loaded with software, beliefs and habits installed since childhood. Some programs are helpful, while others are outdated and need an upgrade. And Tracy argues that we have the power to rewrite those programs, to reprogram our subconscious mind for success.
Okay, so it's about identifying those limiting beliefs
Yeah.
and negative self-talk that might be holding us back and consciously replacing them with more empowering thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that? Does he provide any specific techniques?
He does. He dives into the power of affirmations, which are positive statements that we repeat to ourselves to reprogram our thinking. But he doesn't just say repeat anything. He emphasizes crafting affirmations that are specific, believable, and emotionally charged. He also talks about the power of visualization, creating vivid mental images of ourselves achieving our goals. It's about using our imagination to program our subconscious mind for success.
So it's not just wishful thinking. It's about using these techniques intentionally and consistently to reshape our beliefs and behaviors. Now, this all ties back to what Tracy calls self-concept, right? He argues that the way we see ourselves dictates what we achieve.
Exactly. He breaks down self-concept into 3 parts: self-ideal, self-image, and self-esteem. Self-ideal is that vision of who we want to become. Self-image is how we currently see ourselves. And self-esteem is the emotional piece, how much we value and respect ourselves.
It makes sense that if we have a negative self-image or low self-esteem, we're likely to sabotage our own success. How does Tracy suggest we improve our self-concept?
Well, he suggests we can improve our self-concept by feeding our subconscious mind with positive messages and images through techniques like affirmations and visualizations. And as our self-image improves, our self-esteem naturally follows. It's about creating a positive feedback loop where our thoughts and beliefs reinforce our actions, leading to greater achievements and a stronger sense of self-worth.
So it's a process of aligning our internal world, our thoughts, beliefs, and self-image with our core external goals and aspirations. And it all starts with taking control of our minds. Fascinating. And I'm sure Anil Nathu's 1-Hour Guide helps break this all down even further, which is great because I'm already feeling like I need to revisit some of these chapters.
I agree. It's a lot to absorb. And you know what's interesting is that Tracy doesn't just leave it at the individual level. He takes this concept of mental mastery a step further in Chapter 4, introducing the mastermind. He argues that by aligning our conscious and subconscious minds, we can tap into a higher level of thinking, a sort of mental superpower.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in these first 4 chapters of maximum achievement. And it's clear that Tracy emphasizes the importance of mastering our minds. What's coming up next in our deep dive?
Well, if mastering our minds is the foundation, the next step is putting that mastery into action. And that's where we'll explore Tracy's concept of the master skill. In Chapter 5, goal setting. So we've established this powerful foundation of mental mastery. But what's the point of all this inner work if it doesn't translate into, tangible results in the real world?
That's a great point. Like having a powerful engine but no steering wheel. You need direction, a destination.
Exactly. And that's where Chapter 5 comes in, where Tracy introduces what he calls the master skill, goal setting. He argues that goal setting is the bridge between mental mastery and real-world achievement. It's about taking those abstract desires and turning them into, concrete, actionable plans.
This is where the rubber meets the road, right? It's easy to talk about positive thinking and self-concept, but actually setting goals and achieving them requires a whole other level of discipline and commitment.
And Tracy acknowledges that. He doesn't sugarcoat the hard work involved, but he also provides a framework, a system for setting and achieving goals that can make the process more manageable and ultimately more successful.
So walk me through it. What are some of the key takeaways from Chapter 5? Does the 1-Hour Guide by Anil Nathu offer any specific insights here?
It does. The 1-Hour Guide really crystallizes Tracy's approach to goal setting. First, he emphasizes the importance of aptly setting the right goals. It's not just about setting any goal. It's about setting goals that are aligned with your values, your passions, and your overall vision. For your life, he encourages us to think big, to set goals that stretch us beyond our comfort zones, but also to be realistic.
Yeah.
And make sure our goals are actually attainable.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between ambition and practicality. But even with the right goals, where do you even begin? It can feel overwhelming. just thinking about all the steps involved.
I know what you mean. And Tracy addresses that head on. He introduces the SMART system, which many of our listeners might be familiar with. Goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. He makes a great point. A goal without a deadline is just a wish.
That's so true. It's easy to put things off indefinitely if there's no sense of urgency.
Mm.
But Tracy doesn't stop there, does he? There's more to it than just making a to-do list.
Right. He goes deeper into the psychology
Okay.
of goal achievement. He argues that simply thinking about your goals isn't enough. You need to write them down, and not just on a scrap of paper. He recommends creating a detailed plan, outlining the steps you'll need to take, the resources you'll need to gather, and the potential obstacles you might encounter.
It's like creating a roadmap, a blueprint for success. And I've heard this advice before about writing down your goals. Why is it so important? Does Tracy explain the mechanism behind this?
He does. He says that the act of writing down your goals activates both the conscious and subconscious mind. It's like, you're sending a message to your entire system. This is what I'm committed to achieving.
Yeah.
And he believes that this alignment between the conscious and subconscious is crucial for staying motivated and overcoming challenges along the way.
Like you're imprinting the goal on your mind, making it more tangible, more real. I can see how that would increase your commitment and focus. But even with a clear plan, some goals can feel daunting, right? Like those big, ambitious goals that require significant time and effort.
Absolutely. And Tracy addresses that directly. He encourages us to break down those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps, he even suggests, setting daily or weekly milestones so you're constantly making progress and building momentum.
It's like that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Correct.
Breaking it down. Makes the task less intimidating and helps you stay focused on the immediate actions rather than getting overwhelmed by the enormity of the goal itself.
That's a great analogy, and Tracy emphasizes that this approach not only makes the journey less daunting, but it also helps build confidence and motivation. As you achieve those smaller milestones, you get a sense of accomplishment that fuels your desire to keep going. It's a positive feedback loop.
So we've got clear goals,
Yeah.
a detailed plan, and we're taking consistent action. But let's be honest, there are days when motivation wanes. How does Tracy suggest we stay focused and committed, especially when things get tough?
He devotes a significant portion of Chapter 5 to the importance of discipline and persistence. He argues that these are the qualities that separate dreamers from achievers. And he emphasizes that discipline isn't about being harsh or punishing yourself. It's about developing the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it.
So it's about building that muscle
Yeah.
of self-control, that ability to show up
Yeah.
and do the work, even when it's not easy or exciting. But I think a lot of people struggle with persistence, especially when faced with setbacks or obstacles. How does Tracy address that?
He actually reframes failure as a learning opportunity. He encourages us to embrace mistakes, to see them as valuable feedback that can help us grow and improve. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about learning from it and using it as fuel to move forward even stronger.
That's a great mindset shift. Instead of seeing setbacks as roadblocks, we can see them as detours that ultimately lead us to our destination, maybe even a better destination than we originally envisioned. But life is unpredictable. Goals change, circumstances shift. Does Tracy acknowledge that?
He does. He emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability. He reminds us that our goals should serve us, not enslave us. We need to be willing to adjust our plans as needed to reassess our progress and to make sure our goals are still aligned with our overall vision.
So it's not about being rigid or dogmatic. It's about being open to course correction while staying committed to the overall destination. That makes a lot of sense. And you know this entire conversation about goal setting is reminding me of the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Nathu. It's like he's distilled all these valuable insights into a concise and actionable format.
Absolutely. The 1 Hour Guide is such a helpful tool for absorbing and applying these concepts. It's like having a cheat sheet for success.
Now we've explored the importance of setting goals and achieving them. But Tracy takes it a step further, introducing the concept of the master power in Chapter 6. What is this master power, and how does it relate to everything we've discussed so far?
This is where Tracy gets into what some might consider more esoteric territory. He's talking about the superconscious mind, a higher level of consciousness that he believes connects us to infinite intelligence and creativity.
Okay, this is intriguing. But it also sounds a little out there. Is he suggesting we all have some untapped psychic potential?
Not exactly psychic, but he does believe that the superconscious mind is responsible for those aha moments, those flashes of insight that seem to come out of nowhere. Think about it. Have you ever struggled with a problem for days and then suddenly the solution appears when you're taking a shower or going for a walk?
All the time. Is that my superconscious at work?
Tracy would say yes. He believes the superconscious mind is constantly processing information and generating solutions, even when our conscious mind is preoccupied with other things.
So how do we tap into this master power? Do we need to start meditating on mountaintops or chanting ancient mantras?
Tracy suggests more practical approaches. He emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals because he believes this superconscious mind needs a target to work towards. He also encourages trusting your intuition, those gut feelings that often guide us in the right direction.
It's like paying attention to those subtle whispers from our deeper selves, rather than always relying on logic or reason. But what else does he suggest?
Relaxation is key, Tracy believes. The superconscious mind works best when our conscious mind is quiet and receptive. He suggests activities like walking in nature, meditating, listening to calming music, or anything that helps you de-stress and let go of mental clutter.
That makes sense. It's like creating space
Right.
for those creative sparks to ignite.
Exactly. And of course, he brings back the power of visualization by creating vivid mental images of our desired outcomes.
We're essentially sending a message to our superconscious mind, giving it a blueprint to work with.
So it's not just about daydreaming, it's about intentionally using visualization as a tool to access this master power and to align our energy with our goals.
Right, and he stresses the importance of maintaining a positive expectation, believing that positive energy attracts positive outcomes. It's about aligning our thoughts and emotions with our desired goals, creating a sort of magnetic pull that draws those outcomes. So chapter 6 is all about harnessing this higher level of consciousness, this superconscious mind, to achieve greater things. It's a fascinating concept, even if it does require a bit of a leap of faith. But Tracy doesn't just leave us floating. In the ether of the superconscious, he brings us back down to earth in chapter 7 with what he calls the master decision.
And this master decision is all about taking full responsibility for your life, Tracy argues, that this is the most important decision anyone can make because it empowers us to take control of our circumstances, our behaviors, and our outcomes.
He's talking about owning our choices, our actions, and the results we create, rather than blaming external factors for our lack of success.
Exactly. Tracy points out that many people get stuck in the blame game, blaming their upbringing, their education, the economy, or even bad luck for their struggles. But he believes that blaming others or circumstances robs us of our power to change.
It's like giving away your control, surrender your agency to external forces. It can feel comforting in the short term, but ultimately, it keeps you stuck.
Right. Tracy argues that. By taking full responsibility, we shift from being a passive victim to becoming the master of our own destiny. It's a powerful mindset shift that allows us to reclaim our power and become active creators of our lives.
So it's about recognizing that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control our responses, our attitudes, and our actions. It's about focusing on what we can influence rather than dwelling on what we can't.
Exactly. And Tracy contrasts this, victim thinking, with what he calls master thinking, which is all about empowerment, recognizing that we have the ability to shape our lives through our choices and actions.
He uses a great analogy of a ship in victim thinking.
Yeah.
You're adrift at sea, tossed around by the waves. But in master thinking, you're at the helm, steering the ship towards your desired destination.
It's such a vivid image. And to further emphasize this concept of personal responsibility, Tracy brings back the law of cause and effect.
He reminds us that for every effect in our lives, there's a specific cause.
And he argues that successful people understand that. Their thoughts, behaviors, and actions are the causes that create their results. So if you want to change the results, you have to change the causes. It's a fundamental principle that governs not just our external world, but also
the internal world. It makes sense logically, but it's also a huge responsibility. It means we can't just blame our circumstances. We have to look inward and see how our choices are contributing to our current situation. It's challenging, but also incredibly empowering.
Absolutely. And that's where self-discipline comes in. Tracy argues that. Once we've made the decision to take full responsibility. We need the discipline to follow through on our goals and commitments.
So it's about bridging the gap between intention and action, between knowing what we want and actually doing what it takes
to achieve it. Right. He defines self-discipline as the ability to make yourself do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's about developing the habit of consistent action, even when it's challenging or uncomfortable.
It's that inner drive, that commitment to showing up for yourself, even when you'd rather hit the snooze button or scroll through social media. And I love how he reframes failure as a learning tool. He encourages us to embrace mistakes, to see them as valuable feedback that helps us grow and improve.
It's about shifting our perspective from fear of failure to curiosity about what we can learn from our setbacks. He argues that every mistake is an opportunity to course correct, to refine our approach, and to ultimately become more resilient and resourceful.
So Chapter 7 is all about taking ownership, developing self-discipline, and embracing the learning opportunities that come with both successes and failures. It's a powerful reminder that we have more control over our lives than we often realize.
And speaking of control, in Chapter 8, Tracy introduces the concept of the master goal, which he describes as the ultimate objective or purpose that guides all other goals and actions in a person's life. It's that overarching vision that gives our lives meaning and direction.
It sounds like he's talking about the big picture, the North Star that guides us through life's journey. But how do we define this master goal? Do we just pull it out of thin air?
Tracy suggests a more introspective approach. He encourages us to reflect on our values, passions, and long-term aspirations. What do we truly want to accomplish in life? What legacy do we want to leave behind? What brings us the most joy and fulfillment?
It's about digging deep and connecting with our authentic selves, figuring out what truly matters to us beyond the superficial desires or societal expectations. But once we've identified this master goal, it can still feel overwhelming, right? Like, how do we even begin to translate this grand vision
into
concrete actions?
Tracy, of course, emphasizes the importance of writing it down. He's a big believer in the power of putting pen to paper. He believed that by transforming the goal from an abstract idea into a tangible objective, it becomes more real, more achievable.
And he doesn't stop there. He also suggests creating a vision board, a visual representation of our goals and aspirations, using images, quotes, and affirmations that resonate with our desired future.
It's about surrounding ourselves with reminders of our master goal, keeping it at the forefront of our minds. And this ties back to the power of visualization, which we discussed earlier. By regularly visualizing ourselves, achieving our goals, we're essentially programming our subconscious mind to work towards that outcome.
So it's not just about creating a pretty collage. It's about using visual cues to activate our imagination and align our energy with our goals. But even with a vision board and a written plan, achieving a master goal will likely require breaking it down into smaller,
more manageable steps.
Right. Tracy emphasizes that large goals can feel overwhelming, so it's crucial to create a roadmap, a series of milestones that makes the journey more manageable. It's about breaking down that seemingly insurmountable mountain into a series of smaller peaks that we can conquer one at a time. And he also stresses the importance of persistence and adaptability. Because, let's face it, life throws curveballs, and we're bound to encounter challenges and setbacks along the way.
Absolutely. But Tracy believes that by staying committed to our master goal and being willing to adjust our approach as needed, we can overcome those obstacles and ultimately achieve what we set out to do. It's about having the tenacity to keep going, even when things get tough, but also the flexibility to course correct when necessary.
So in Chapter 8, Tracy gives us the tools and strategies to define our master goal, break it down into actionable steps, and stay focused on the big picture, even when things get tough. It's like he's providing us
with a compass and a map to navigate
through the journey of our lives.
And as we move deeper into maximum achievement, we see how this focus on personal growth and achievement extends to our relationships with others. In Chapter 9, Tracy shifts his attention to the art of mastering human relationships.
This is an interesting transition, because up to this point, maximum achievement has really focused on individual development. But now he's acknowledging that our relationships play a huge role in both our personal and professional success.
He emphasizes that the quality of our relationships significantly influences our happiness or productivity and our overall quality of life.
He stresses that no one achieves greatness in isolation. Success is often a team effort. and our ability
Sure.
to build and maintain strong relationships.
Is crucial. I'm curious, does the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Mathu delve into any specific examples of how Tracy applies this to real-world scenarios?
It does. The 1 Hour Guide highlights how Tracy emphasizes that successful people often have a network of supportive relationships that help them navigate challenges and seize opportunities. He provides examples of mentors who offer guidance, colleagues who collaborate on projects, and friends and family who offer emotional support. It's about recognizing that we need each other, that we can achieve far more together than we ever could alone. So it's not just about what you know, it's also about who you know. And more importantly, how well you connect with those people. It's about building genuine relationships
Yeah.
that are mutually beneficial and supportive. But Tracy doesn't just tell us relationships are important, does he? Does he give us any practical strategies for building and maintaining them?
He does. He starts with the foundation of any healthy relationship, effective communication. And he emphasizes that it's not just about talking, it's also about active listening. It's about truly understanding the other person's perspective, paying attention to their words, their emotions, their body language, and responding in a way that shows you've heard and understood them.
So it's about going beyond simply waiting for your turn to speak
Yeah.
and actually engaging in a meaningful exchange of ideas
Yeah.
and emotions.
Exactly. And he highlights the importance of empathy, putting ourselves in other people's shoes and trying to see the world from their perspective. It's about understanding their motivations, their fears, their hopes, and responding with compassion and understanding.
Empathy creates connection and builds trust. It allows us to relate to each other on a deeper level, beyond the superficial differences, but even with good communication and empathy. Conflicts are inevitable in any relationship, right? How does Tracy suggest handling those conflicts constructively?
He emphasizes staying calm, focusing on solutions, and using I statements to express feelings without placing blame. It's about approaching conflict as an opportunity to understand different perspectives and to find a resolution that works for everyone involved.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about finding a win-win solution that preserves the relationship and strengthens the connection.
Exactly. And he also stresses the importance of expressing appreciation and recognizing the contributions of others. It's about acknowledging the good things people do, both big and small. Those expressions of gratitude go a long way in building strong relationships.
It's about making people feel seen, appreciated, and valued for who they are and what they bring to the table. And I think that's something we often take for granted, especially in long-term relationships. We assume people know how we feel, but sometimes it's important to say it out loud, to express that gratitude explicitly. And in the context of professional success, he talks about the importance of networking.
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of the word.
Networking feels so transactional, like it's all about collecting contacts and using people for personal gain.
I understand that. But Tracy's approach to networking is more about building genuine connections that can lead to mutually beneficial opportunities. It's about creating a web of support, a community of like-minded individuals who can help each other grow and succeed.
So it's not just about collecting business cards and shaking hands. It's about building relationships that are based on authenticity and mutual respect. It's about finding those people who inspire you, who challenge you, who support your growth, and who you can, in turn, support and inspire.
That's a great way to put it. He emphasizes being genuine in our interactions, following up after meeting someone new, offering value to others in our network, and staying engaged over time.
So it's about building a community, a tribe of people who are on a similar journey, who understand your struggles, and who celebrate your successes.
That's a great analogy. And I think Tracy's insights on mastering human relationships are incredibly valuable, especially in today's world, where it's so easy to get caught up in the digital realm and lose sight of those face-to-face connections.
Absolutely. It's easy to get lost in the online world, where relationships can feel superficial and fleeting. But real connection, the kind that nourishes our souls and fuels our success, requires effort, intention, and vulnerability.
And speaking of relationships, in Chapter 10, Tracy dives even deeper into personal relationships, recognizing that the quality of our personal connections has a profound impact on our overall happiness and fulfillment.
He really emphasizes that success is not solely about professional achievements. It's also about nurturing those close relationships that bring joy and meaning to our lives. It's about prioritizing those people who make life richer, more fulfilling, and who remind us of what truly matters.
And he builds on many of the principles from the previous chapter, highlighting the importance of effective communication, empathy, respect, and finding common ground. He emphasizes that these principles apply not just to colleagues and acquaintances, but also to our most intimate relationships, expert speaker, with spouses, partners, family members, and close friends.
But even with the best of intentions, conflicts are inevitable in close relationships, right?
Yeah.
We're bound to bump heads
Yeah.
with the people we love the most. How does Tracy suggest navigating those challenging moments?
He encourages us to approach those conflicts with a spirit of understanding and a willingness to find solutions that work for everyone involved. He reminds us that conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an opportunity to deepen understanding, to strengthen communication, and to ultimately create a more solid foundation for the relationship.
So it's not about avoiding conflict. It's about learning how to handle it in a way that's healthy, productive, and ultimately strengthens the bond.
And he once again stresses the power of appreciation, encouraging us to regularly express gratitude and recognize the positive contributions of our loved ones.
It's about making those small gestures, saying those kind words, and taking those actions that demonstrate our love and appreciation. It's about letting the people in our lives know how much we value them and how grateful we are for their presence in our lives.
And this is all part of what Tracy calls mastering personal relationships. It's about being intentional in our interactions, putting in the effort to build strong connections, and navigating the inevitable ups and downs that come with any.
And he doesn't shy away from discussing the role of emotional intelligence in this process.
He talks about the importance of being able to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as be attuned to the emotions of others.
It's about developing that self-awareness to understand what's driving our own reactions and the empathy to understand what's going on for the other person. It's about being able to communicate effectively, even in emotionally charged situations, and to navigate those complexities.
With grace and understanding.
He believes that developing emotional intelligence is crucial for navigating the complexities of human relationships and building strong connections.
So in Chapter 10, Tracy provides a roadmap for building and maintaining those close personal relationships that bring so much richness to our lives.
Absolutely. And you know, all this talk about relationships just reminded me of the 1 Hour Guide by Neil Nathu. It's a great resource for anyone for insights.
On this topic.
I agree. The 1 Hour Guide does an incredible job of distilling these complex concepts into a format that's both accessible and actionable. It's like having a wise mentor guiding you through the intricacies of human connection.
And as we continue our deep dive into maximum achievement, we're going to explore how these principles of effective communication, empathy, and respect apply to one of the most important relationships of all, the parent-child relationship.
That's right. In Chapter 11, Tracy shifts his focus to the art of parenting, recognizing the crucial role parents play in shaping the future of the next generation.
It's about recognizing that parents have a profound impact on their children's development, self-esteem, and future success. And it's a responsibility that many parents take very seriously.
Absolutely. And Tracy doesn't approach this topic lightly. He emphasizes that effective parenting is not just about
providing for a child's physical needs, but also about nurturing their emotional and intellectual growth. It's about creating a supportive and loving environment that fosters confidence, resilience, and a love of learning. And he offers a range of practical strategies for parents to master this art. He starts with the importance of modeling positive behavior. He argues that children learn by observing their parents. So it's crucial for parents to demonstrate the qualities they want to instill in their children: honesty, kindness, responsibility, respect, perseverance, and so on.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It's about embodying the values and behaviors we want our children to emulate. But parenting is more than just setting a good example, right? It's also about empowering our children to become independent, capable individuals.
Absolutely. He also encourages parents to foster independence in their children.
So it's about giving children the space to make choices, solve problems, and take responsibility for their actions, even if it means making mistakes along the way.
He believes that by encouraging independence, parents help their children develop confidence and self-reliance, essential qualities for navigating
the challenges of life.
And of course, he talks about the importance of setting clear expectations. And he advises parents to be consistent in their roles and consequences so children understand what is expected
Of them, yeah.
and what the consequences
Exactly.
if they cross those boundaries. It's about creating a sense of structure and security that allows children to navigate their world
With
confidence.
It's about creating
Yeah.
a safe and predictable environment where children can explore, learn, and grow, knowing that there are limits and consequences, but also love and support. But parenting isn't just about rules and boundaries, is it? It's also about connection, communication, and understanding.
And Tracy emphasizes that. He talks about the importance of practicing active listening with children. It's about engaging in meaningful conversations with our kids, showing genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings, even when those thoughts and feelings seem trivial or irrational to us.
It's about validating their experiences,
Yeah.
even if we don't agree with them,
Yeah.
and letting them know that their voices matter, that they're heard and understood.
Right? By practicing active listening, parents demonstrate empathy and validation, strengthening the parent-child bond. And he talks about the importance of nurturing self-esteem and confidence in children.
He believes that a strong sense of self-worth is crucial for children to thrive and achieve their potential.
So how does he suggest parents foster self-esteem in their children?
He encourages praising,
Yeah.
effort, not just achievement, so children develop a growth mindset
Yeah.
and understand that success comes from hard work and perseverance. It's about celebrating the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. He also suggests providing children with opportunities to
That's right.
experience success, whether it's through academics, extracurricular activities, or personal projects.
Those small successes build confidence and motivate children to take on new challenges.
Yeah.
It's about giving them the space to experiment, to fail, and to learn
Right.
from those experiences,
Yeah.
knowing that they have our support regardless.
The outcome. And he emphasizes the importance of encouraging positive self-talk, helping children replace negative thoughts with constructive affirmations. It's about teaching children to be kind to themselves, to believe in their abilities, and to focus on their strengths rather than their weaknesses.
It's about instilling that inner resilience, that ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep going, even when things get tough.
And he also encourages parents to help their children embrace mistakes as learning opportunities.
It's about reframing failures
Yeah.
with valuable lessons that help children develop resilience and a growth mindset. It's about teaching them that it's okay to make mistakes, that everyone stumbles along the way. But what matters is how we learn from those experiences and keep moving forward.
And of course, Tracy emphasizes the importance of spending quality time with children. He advises parents to be intentional about creating opportunities for meaningful interactions, whether it's through family activities, one-on-one conversations, or shared experiences.
It's about being present with our children, putting down the phones and distractions, and truly connecting with them. On an emotional level, it's about creating those shared memories, those moments of joy and laughter, those heart-to-heart conversations that strengthen the bond.
And create a lasting foundation of love and support.
And he doesn't shy away from addressing the role of discipline in parenting.
He stresses that discipline should be viewed as a teaching tool, not a punishment. It's about helping children understand the consequences of their actions and encouraging them to make better choices.
He offers several strategies for effective discipline, including consistency, focusing on the behavior rather than the child, and providing choices that empower children
to take responsibility.
So Chapter 11 provides a comprehensive guide for parents looking to master the art of raising happy, resilient, and successful children. It's about creating a loving and supportive environment that fosters both personal and professional growth. And you know, it's interesting to think about how all of these principles from Brian Tracy's work, the importance of communication, empathy, and respect apply not just to parenting, but to all of our relationships.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up our deep dive into maximum achievement, Chapter 12, we see how these principles come together in the context of one of the most powerful forces in human experience, love.
In this final chapter, Tracy explores the profound and essential theme of love, recognizing its pivotal role in personal fulfillment and overall success.
He argues that mastering the concept of love is crucial for achieving happiness, building strong relationships, and cultivating a life of purpose.
And he dives into the different dimensions of love, how it can be expressed, and the ways it impacts every aspect of our lives.
He starts by asserting that love is more than just a feeling. It's an essential component of healthy relationships, personal growth, and emotional well-being. It's a force that connects us, inspires us, and motivates us to become the best versions of ourselves.
He sees love as encompassing compassion, empathy, kindness, and appreciation. It's about extending grace to ourselves and to others, even when we make mistakes or fall short of expectations.
And he highlights the transformative power of love, emphasizing its ability to foster connection, nurture trust, and promote understanding among individuals.
That when love is present in our relationships, it creates a sense of belonging and security that allows us to thrive and reach our full potential. It's like a fertile ground where our dreams can take root and flourish.
And he outlines several different types of love that are essential for mastering this powerful emotion.
Starting with self-love, which we discussed earlier in the context.
Right. He emphasizes that self-love is the foundation for all other types of love. It's about valuing ourselves, accepting our worth, and taking care of our physical and emotional well-being. It's about treating ourselves with kindness, compassion, and respect, just as we would treat
a dear friend. He believes that without self-love, it's difficult to truly love others or build healthy relationships. It's like trying to pour from an empty cup, and we need to fill our own cups with love and acceptance before we can authentically share that love with others.
And then, of course, he talks about romantic love, the passionate, intimate connections we share with our partners.
He stresses that maintaining a strong romantic relationship requires effort, communication, and commitment. It's not something that just happens. It's something we actively create and nurture
over time. He encourages us to prioritize our romantic relationships, to invest time and energy into nurturing them, and to openly express love and appreciation. It's about making our partners feel seen, heard, and cherished, and about making the relationship a priority amidst the demands of daily life.
He also discusses the importance of familial love, the love between family members, which creates a support system that fosters resilience and emotional security.
He encourages us to cultivate open communication and appreciation among family members to strengthen these important bonds. It's about recognizing that family, whether biological or chosen, is a source of strength, support, and unconditional love.
And he talks about the love that manifests in friendships,
yeah,
which are so crucial for our social well-being.
He emphasizes the value of surrounding ourselves with supportive, positive people who uplift and inspire us. It's about choosing those friends who bring joy, laughter, and a sense of belonging to our lives.
And he offers several practical strategies for cultivating love in all of these relationships.
He encourages expressing love regularly, practicing gratitude, communicating effectively, being supportive, and resolving conflicts. With love, it's about approaching those challenging moments with compassion and understanding, seeking resolution rather than retribution.
It's about making those small gestures, saying those kind words, taking those actions that demonstrate our love and appreciation. It's about showing up for the people in our lives, not just when it's convenient, but also when it's hard.
And he also makes the interesting point that love is not just an emotion. It's a powerful motivator for success.
He argues that individuals who cultivate love in their lives are often more driven, focused, and resilient. It's like love gives them a sense of purpose, fueling their ambition and inspiring them to pursue their goals with passion and determination.
And he points out that many successful people attribute their achievements to the support and love they receive from family, friends, and mentors.
Like that network of love acts as a safety net, giving them the courage to take risks and pursue their aspirations confidently. It's a reminder that we don't have to do it all alone, that we can draw strength and inspiration from those who love and support us.
And finally, he talks about the profound connection between love and happiness, he believes. The true happiness is rooted in strong, loving relationships. It's about feeling connected, supported, and valued by the people in our lives. It's about experiencing those moments of joy, laughter, and deep contentment that come from feeling truly seen and loved for who we are.
It's a beautiful reminder that at the end of the day, success without love is just an empty achievement. It's those connections, those relationships that give life meaning, purpose, and ultimately happiness.
And he encourages us to reflect on the love in our lives and to prioritize nurturing those connections. It's about making time for the people who matter most, expressing our appreciation, and being present in those relationships.
So in this final chapter of Maximum Achievement, Tracy reminds us that love is not just a feel-good emotion. It's a powerful force that can transform our lives
And right.
towards success and fulfillment.
And he leaves us with the message that by cultivating love in all its forms, self-love, romantic love, familial love, and the love we share with friends, we can create a life that is rich in meaning, connection, and joy. It's a powerful message that resonates deeply, even beyond the realm of achievement.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into maximum achievement, exploring a wide range of concepts, from mastering the mind to setting powerful goals, to building strong relationships, to harnessing the power of love. And I have to say, I'm feeling inspired to take action and apply some of these principles to my own life.
Me too. It's not just about intellectual understanding. It's about integrating these principles into our daily lives, making them a part of who we are and how we interact with the world.
And what's so powerful about Tracy's approach is that he doesn't just tell us what to do. He gives us concrete tools and strategies to make it happen. He provides a framework, a system for personal growth that can be applied to any area of life.
Right. He breaks down these complex concepts into actionable steps, making them more accessible and less intimidating.
And you know, one of the things that really struck me throughout this book was Tracy's emphasis on the power of the subconscious mind. The idea that we can reprogram our thinking to achieve greater things is incredibly empowering.
Absolutely. And it ties back to so many of the strategies he outlines throughout the book, from visualization to affirmations to setting clear goals. It's like he's giving us the keys to the control panel of our own mind, showing us how to adjust the settings to create the reality we desire.
And it's not just about positive thinking, it's about understanding the mechanics of the mind and using those mechanics to our advantage. It's about recognizing that our thoughts create our reality, and that by consciously choosing our thoughts, we can shape our destiny.
I agree. And what's so inspiring about that is that it puts the power back in our hands. It's not about luck or circumstance. It's about taking control of our internal world and using that power to create the external world we desire.
But it's not just about individual achievement, is it? Tracy also emphasizes the importance of human relationships, recognizing that connection, collaboration, and support are essential for both personal and professional success.
Absolutely. And he doesn't just tell us that relationships are important. He gives us practical tools for building and maintaining them, from practicing active listening to expressing appreciation to resolving conflicts. Constructively, he reminds us that we're not meant to go it alone, that we need each other, and that by investing in those relationships, we enrich our lives in countless ways.
I'm already thinking about how I can incorporate some of those strategies into my own interactions to be more present, more empathetic, and more intentional in my relationships.
Too. And, you know, it's interesting to consider how these principles for maximum achievement connect to other areas of personal development, like leadership, entrepreneurship, and even creativity.
I think Tracy's work offers a framework for success that can be applied to many different aspects of life. It's about cultivating a mindset of growth, resilience, and possibility, and about recognizing that we have the power to create the life we desire.
And that's what makes it so valuable. It's not just a collection of self-help tips. It's a comprehensive system for unlocking our potential and achieving greater things.
And speaking of unlocking potential, if you could choose one principle from maximum achievement to focus on, which one would it be and why?
That's a tough question. There are so many valuable insights in this book, but I think I would choose the master decision, the decision to take full responsibility for my life.
That's a powerful choice. Why that one?
It is, because it really sets the stage for everything else. It's about recognizing that we have the power to shape our own destiny, to create the life we desire, regardless of our circumstances. It's about stepping into our own power and becoming the conscious creators of our lives.
It's about shifting from blame to empowerment, from victim thinking to master thinking.
Exactly. And once we make that decision, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities.
I love that. It's a reminder that we're not powerless, that we have agency, and that by choosing to take responsibility, we unlock the potential to create
extraordinary lives. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the key principles of maximum achievement, from mastering the mind to building strong relationships to harnessing the power of love. And, you know, throughout this conversation, I kept thinking back to the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Nathu. It's such a valuable resource for anyone who wants to dive into these concepts, but doesn't have the time to read the entire book.
I agree. The 1 Hour Guide does an incredible job of capturing the essence of maximum achievement and presenting those insights in a clear, concise, and actionable way. It's a great companion, or even a standalone resource for anyone looking for a quick dose
of inspiration
and practical guidance. If you're looking for a roadmap to success, a guide to unlocking your potential, I highly recommend checking out Brian Tracy's Maximum Achievement and the 1 Hour Guide by Anil Nathu. It's a treasure trove of wisdom and practical strategies that can help you create the life you desire.
And as you embark on this journey of personal growth, remember to be kind to yourself, celebrate your successes, and embrace the learning opportunities that come with every challenge. It's not about perfection, it's about progress, and it's about enjoying the journey every step of the way.
Thank you for joining us today. Visit the 1 Hour Guide website for more business insights by Anil Nathu.